Today we're going to swap all the parts from this frame onto the titanium middle child to see if it's just as good, a little bit better, or a little bit worse than this for the all-time trail hardtail. Now obviously I haven't ridden every hardtail in the planet yet, but I'm working on it. What I'm curious to see is, how does this frame compare to the titanium middle child? They're almost the same geometry, so if I stumbled on greatness on this, will it also be greatness on the titanium middle child or not? These are a tool every mechanic should have. They are Knipex side cutters. I don't know what they're called. They are fantastic, especially for zip ties. I'll put a link to these in the description below. Curious, what do you think? Will the titanium frame be better? Done. I don't have to bleed anything. Once again, the hexes that I use are Wera. They are amazing, and they have a ball end, which means it doesn't have to be straight on for the bolt. So normally we'd be straight on, but we can do it at an angle with these. Super useful. This is my MRP XCG bash guard. I'll put a link to this. I use it all the time. Let me show you. That thing is well used. You can actually replace this piece. It's time to strip this down and clean it anyway. Put a lot of miles on this bike. This tool is from Wheels Manufacturing, and I am so thrilled about it. I love these Wheels Manufacturing bottom brackets. They're angular contact bearings. I've talked about them before. You can also just buy replacement bearings and keep the same shells and save a lot of expense if these ever wear out. I feel like a scientist who stumbled on something amazing with this bike setup. So I'm glad I've experimented. It's been really fun. Here's the best way to store zip ties. Cut one off and put all the rest on it. This is going in a box, and the middle child's coming out of a box. Oh, there she is. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, wait, didn't you just build that up into your bike packing bike? I actually have two titanium middle childs. This is a medium, and the one that's my bike packing bike is a small. I love this bike. This is my rowdy bike. The small one's my bike packing bike. There's something so cool about titanium. Just gonna brush this real quick. Been a while. Of the stem. Remember when I cut this frame back in the day? I'm still glad I did it. I know this is kind of in style right now. I don't like this. I'd rather have a little less standover and just clean frame lines, but whatever. A lot of people like this little seat tube gusset. It seems like it's becoming a style thing. I know it makes sense. It gives you a lower standover and all that, but I think it's ugly. But I'm always the guy who's saying, who cares what it looks like, as long as it's functional. So I'm gonna have to take my own advice here. If you remember when I built up the Banshee, I had to swap brakes for a longer hose because the routing took a different route. So I'm gonna put my shorter brake back on this. I'm gonna lengthen the chainstay to 430, which is where the other one was, just so we can compare apples to apples, and then I can shorten it up even more. I'm not usually one for Kashima, but that looks pretty cool with the tie. Where is my axle? I'm using the bearings from Wheels Manufacturing, made in the USA. All right, this is the product everyone's been curious about, how to fit ISCG tabs on a bike that doesn't have them. You have to have a threaded bottom bracket, but it just sits on here like this. And then I now have ISCG tabs. Now the trick is, you've got to have a threaded bottom bracket or you're out of luck. Press fit, nothing's gonna work for you there. Basically, it just sandwiches it in there. And now your bash guard can just mount right on here. And that is how you put a bash guard on a frame with no ISCG tabs. Pretty simple. There you go. And it stops. And it's ready. It just needs zip ties. Let's do it. All right, the final step is to put the water bottle and multi-tool on. Doesn't look as pretty, but it's very functional and I need water to ride. Function over fashion. 26.3. Might even be a hair heavier than the Banshee. Probably because of the sliding dropout mechanisms and hardware in there. I don't know, I'm not a weight weenie, and this is super unscientific. Almost identical weight, the Banshee might win it by a hair. Let's see how the ride quality is in the next episode. I can't wait to take this out on the same exact trail as last time to see if this equals or is better or is worse than the Banshee is the ultimate trail bike to just mess around on and have fun and enjoy the downs as much as the ups. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, consider becoming a patron to support this channel. I've got a lot of other interesting bike builds and bike reviews and other cool stuff on my channel. Go through my archives. There's some really good stuff that I put out. Encourage you to check that out. Thanks for watching. There's a party in the mountains and you're invited.